I just got this from the works. Now, stick with me. I don't know if you guys have seen people making little trinket shelves. So I kind of have one anyway, like my original Kirby heart shelf. That was originally just a big white heart from the range, and I painted it pink myself and then added all of my Kirby trinkets and plushies and whatnot. I've been seeing people make ones that are for more like smaller figures. So I popped into the works, which anyone here in the UK, I don't know what other countries the works are in, but anyway, the works is just a dangerous place for me to go. I literally cannot go in there without buying something. Literally just leaving the shop, and I saw this and I was like, wait. So I was thinking of taking all of these little drawers out, obviously painting it a different colour. I'm not going to keep it this colour. And then putting little Kirby figures in it. So I've still got a few decisions to make because I am rapidly running out of space for Kirby figures. So originally I had the majority, pretty much all of them actually, in my pink Kirby shelf, the heart shelf, which is behind me right now, is why I'm pointing there, even though you can't see it. But then I pretty much ran out of room in there, so then I got a new display unit which has cubes in it. I'll insert some footage again so you can see what I'm talking about right now. This is full of all of my random little Kirby trinkets and figures and blind boxes and all that kind of stuff. Running out of room there as well, so I thought this could be a really good idea because I can keep all of the Kirby random little minifigures and stuff in here, the ones that will fit, and take the little drawers out. And also I have so many other random trinkets and figures and stuff in my collection, ones that I've accumulated over the years, and I'm really struggling on how to display them all. I'm in two minds because I do like keeping all of my Kirby stuff in one place together. I always just think it looks really cool to see an entire Kirby collection just out on display, which makes me think that I probably will keep this one Kirby related. But if it all works out well, I might actually go back and buy a second one and have it on display in another part of my room with just non-Kirby related trinkets in it. As I said, this was from the works and it's £15, which I think is pretty good because like it's quite a good size as well. So let's go and decorate my new little trinket shelf. Is what we're working with. So the cubes are like kind of small. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit a lot of like full, like, you know, the big, I'll have to show you guys what I mean, but like big blind box ones, because usually the platforms alone are a lot bigger. But I do have a lot of random little minifigures. I'm back. I have a fresh cup of coffee ready to give me some energy to start decorating the new trinket shelf. I'm happy with how it turned out. I was worried that sometimes with paint on wood, it can like not absorb it, but it takes like a good few layers for it to really show the colour. Honestly, this paint only took one layer and it is really, really bright, which I'm glad. I'm still unsure of exactly where I want it. Like for now, I've just got it up in the Kirby corner. I'm sure I've said it a million times in all of my recent videos that I am redoing this entire room. So it might end up moving, it might not, we shall see. It's all gonna look a little bit odd as I go through this process because I'm so used to having all of my Kirby displays completely full. Obviously, I'm gonna have to move little figures out of like my heart shelf, for example, to put over here. So there's now gonna be gaps in the heart shelf. I do have so many random Kirby bits and bobs that aren't actually in the main display that definitely can then go back into the empty spaces. Excited to just have a complete overhaul and honestly just have more Kirby stuff on display because as I said, there's just stuff here, there and everywhere. So I am gonna carry on drinking my coffee and start filling up the new shelf. I'm so excited to see how it looks at the end. managed to fill the entire unit. I knew that I would have loads of Kirby stuff. I don't know why I was like, I might not have enough. I still have so much. But the gaps are slightly smaller than I originally thought they were. I have a lot of like bigger remnant figures, which I thought I was going to put in display here, but unfortunately they don't quite fit. I have had to put more of my smaller figures in, which is absolutely fine because my other display, my remnant figures currently are, now has a lot more space. So when I get new remnant sets, they can all go on display there. We have a fair few gaps in the Kirby heart shelf now. However, I already have stuff that I want to fill the gaps with. So I'm also going to reshuffle that shelf too. Originally, I mean, I kind of had a bit of everything, but I used to have a lot of my smaller plushies in the heart shelf, and I really used to love how it looked because they squeezed so nice into the shelves. Over time, where I've accumulated more figures and stuff, they have ended up going on display on the shelf, and the plushies have ended up more on the floor in the Kirby pile. I'll be glad to take some of the smaller plushies that they end up getting a bit lost in the Kirby pile because there's just so many now. I feel like sometimes even just down the little gaps, some of the smaller plushies will just fall and you don't even see them in half of the content, and they deserve to be seen because they're so cute. I'm going to move them back up to the heart shelf and fill that out a bit more, and now all of the smaller figures are here, so it kind of separates it all a bit. If the lighting is a little off at the moment, it's a lot later in the day than when I usually film. So I usually have a lot of like natural daylight, but it's actually night now, so it might be a little off. I'm extremely tired. I've had such a fun day, but I did do a very, very long hike towards the end, so I'm low-key very tired. But my mission for today was to go in some charity shops and just crafty shops in general and find some bits and bobs that I can use for some new crafty projects. Watching a video the other day, and the artist was making these really cute little like travel type pouches, purses, bags, I don't know what you'd call them. It just sparked something in my brain where I was like, wait, I really, really want to try doing that as well, just for myself. I have a very similar shaped style pouch that I use when traveling, usually to carry accessories and hair bits and bobs and whatnot. I thought I would give it a go and upcycle it to make it more on brand for me. I don't have an exact vision, but all I know is I want to do it very Kirby coded. I think I might actually try and do a little Kirby on the pouch itself. Of how people use random bits and bobs to like jazz up an item, so that was very much my thought process with this. I'm going to show you my little haul at what I got today. So starting off, this isn't for the like pouch upcycling I'm doing, but I love cross stitch. I used to cross stitch all the time. Is cross stitch fairies, and the other is fantasy cross stitch. Let me just show you what's in here because oh my gosh. This is what I saw first. Hopefully it focuses, but it's just like different letters of the alphabet with like cute fairies on them, and I thought that would be such a cute like gift for someone. I would put them in like a really cute frame and put like all frill, and like you could even stick cute little gems and stuff on them. I don't know, I feel like that could be a really cute gift. And there's loads of other really cute designs. Like I just love fairies and fantasy in general, so I'm definitely going to be giving some of these a go. And I was about to leave and I saw this fantasy one. Let me show you what caught caught my attention. So I opened the book and just saw this dragon design and I was like, are you kidding me? That is so cool. And then I saw this as well. This like wizard, like look how cool that is. And like my favorite thing about cross stitch as well is you don't even have to stick to the colors. So like I could just do like a pink dragon. Like how cool would that be? There's loads in here. There's like unicorns, there's more fairies, there's loads of just like general like animal ones as well, which again I think could make for really cute gifts. Could not pass up on those books. This one, because it's hardback, was £1, but the other one was literally 50p. Like 50p for all of those cross-stitch designs. So on to the rest of the haul. I bought these pieces of random fabrics. It was actually from a craft store that is closing down, so they were really heavily discounted. And come on, like these are Kirby colours if I've ever seen them before. That is literally why I bought them, was because they're literally Kirby. Maybe use these to create like a fabric Kirby, or if not, it's just his colour palette in general, so I could use it on the pouch somehow. But I thought for that price and everything was on sale, like I may as well. And I went into a charity shop and I found this random piece of fabric. I literally think it was like 10p. On the pouch, I really want to do lots of layering. I want there to be lots of different textures and things going on. So I thought that could be a really cute layer on the pouch. I got this. I don't know if this is going to be for the pouch or not, or I don't know. I can use it for something crafty in general, but it was £1 and I just really like the colours, especially with like the little pearl beads. I just think they're very, very cute. Obviously, I love pink, so I would definitely be using this somehow. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I also got these like iridescent like pearl beads on like a string, but again I really want to add loads of texture to the pouch that I'm doing, and I probably won't use them all on one pouch, but I can definitely use them again. Just thought they were really pretty, and again these were £1, so you can't really go wrong. Okay, it's kind of hard to hold up, but I got loads of random buttons. They were 10p each, and again I know I've said this like 8 times, but I really want to add loads of texture and different bits and bobs going on, so I thought buttons would be a really easy thing to just sew through and give it something a little different. While I was in there was another lady who was telling me that she's really got into arts and crafts recently, and she just goes into charity shops and buys random stuff and basically just upcycles them. That was so cute, and we were chatting for ages, and she was getting a few of these buttons and I was like, oh my god, they're so cute, and she was like, well, there's actually a few left. So she, bless her, she like handpicked them out for me and literally put them in my hand, and she was like, I think you should get them. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna. They're not like the Kirby colour palette, but they're really, really beautiful. They're very unique. I'm almost tempted to actually use them on clothing, because like that iridescent-y, it has like a shift. It goes from like purple to like a blue. Hopefully the camera picks it up. But I got 2 big ones, and there was also 2 smaller versions of it as well. But if not, I was thinking I could upcycle something else, do another crafty project, and like base it off of this color palette. I was even thinking like something very like sea, but like night sea, dark ocean sea vibes. Do you feel the vision? These in the same charity shop, these were £2. These are actually for me to wear. I've been wanting some pearls for ages, like a pearl necklace. I have like a short like Vivienne Westwood choker, but I wanted some longer so that I could like layer it, so have like the pearl choker here and then these ones like just a bit below. I feel like that will be a staple in outfits, and again for £2, like you really can't go wrong. Lastly, I went into an antique store and they had a clearance section, and this brooch was there. Let me take it out the packaging. See me in the reflection there, hey. But yeah, it's a very, very simple brooch. When I saw it, I was like, wait, again, I feel like this is perfect for upcycling because it is so plain. So my plan is, maybe, I'll have to see, but I was thinking of using like paint pens and just painting over what is just the plain black. Like 2 ideas. I really obviously love Kirby, so I was thinking more of a like do little clouds and stars and loads of little details and have it really light and pink, and maybe have a little Kirby on there as well. An idea which I know doesn't sound as fun. Obviously a lot of people here watch because they love Kirby as well. In the winter, I do like to change how I dress. I think a lot of people do, to kind of match the aesthetics of the season, but I am so winter autumn coded. It is my favourite time of the year. I just love jumper season, and just honestly everything about winter, especially fashion wise, is my favourite. I tend to wear a way darker colour palette and a lot of reds. Red is like my go-to colour, especially around Christmas. Vintagey, tartan, bear, red, green, blue vibe. Is that making any sense? That was the only other thing that I thought, because I feel like, especially with the gold around the edge, really well with the style of clothing that I wear mostly in winter. Knowing me, I will probably end up doing Kirby. But the good thing is I can always, now that I know that I can just upcycle things, I'm really trying to get better at doing that. I can just now look out for another brooch that's similar to this, that's kind of plain, and whatever design I don't do, I can just do on the next one, which makes it really fun. So happy with how it turned out. I used like paint marker pens for this whole thing. I think I should probably be safe and do like some form of a top coat just to make sure none of this chips off. Basically just done a really quick scribble of how I wanted it to look. I knew I wanted a little Kirby sitting down and a star, so I just drew it out so I knew roughly what I was doing, and then I just kept paint penning. So it took a few layers to cover the original like black base. First I went over with a really light yellow. It was basically like near enough white, just an off-white. I'd done a few layers of that and was letting it fully dry in between each layer just to really cover the dark that it originally was. Once that was near enough opaque, I then went over with this like bluey purpley colour that's in the background. It took about 2 or 3 layers before it was really vibrant, and then I just started drawing the rest on. I thought I would stick a few little gems and stuff to make it a bit sparkly. The Kirby isn't perfect. I think his eyes are a little off, but I'm like, from far away you wouldn't tell. I used paint markers before, I'm sure you'll know. The actual like tip of the pen is quite thick. It's really hard to do small precise details like that, but I think even so it came out pretty good. I'm going to an event next week and I'm wearing a full Kirby outfit, pink and yellow, very Kirby coded, so I'm gonna wear this and show everyone my little upcycling moment. I'm so proud of it. See, I love a car boot sale. If you're anything like me and you either love crafty bits or you have a room or a collection and you're trying to build it, car boot sales are where it's at. Bright and early today, I went to my local one and oh my gosh, I don't know if it was just the weather or everyone just had the same idea, but it was the craziest car boot sale at my local one that I've ever seen. My local one is really big and tends to have a lot of people there, especially stalls, but today was just like double the normal amount, which I'm absolutely not complaining. I got loads of VHS. If you don't already know me, I am a huge physical media collector. Just love physical media. I love being able to just have movies and CDs and DVDs just at my disposal, because honestly, I hate streaming services. Even that's a whole other video. I hate the amount of choice and I hate how limited everything is. I know you guys probably relate, but the second you actually have a movie that you want to watch, whenever you search it on anything, it's just never there, or it's just left a platform, and I'm like, no, I prefer just owning it so I can just watch it. I feel like it limits my options a bit, but I actually prefer that. I don't know if that's for everyone, but I get really overwhelmed. I'm on Netflix, I will end up most of the night just scrolling through rather than actually just putting something on. I have my select choice of like favorite films and movies, then I just gravitate towards one and put it on and have a good time. Got loads. These were all 3 for £1, but look, I got Shrek on VHS. I already have it on. I've actually just paused it to come and film this. I've been sitting over in my CRT setup area, just doing some crafty bits, and what a film, guys. Another one I was so happy with is the Scooby-Doo movie. Oh my gosh, this film. I actually watched it again recently. I got it on DVD, but VHS just hits different. Maybe I'm just really old. I think I am. Like, I'm 32 this year, and just VHS playing on my pink Disney CRT just brings me so much joy. I can't even explain it. Huge Disney VHS collection, so I added a few more. I got Dumbo. I got this one, which I've never seen before. It seems really random, but I really love the case. Daisy and Donald are like my Disney faves. A pink VHS cover, like, are you kidding me? That is so cute. So I got that. This one as well, which is a bit random. I watched this like once years ago, but do you know what? I actually don't remember it. So maybe it'll be fun to go back and watch this now. This as well, which I think is like a Beauty and the Beast, like short story spin-off type thing. Again, I've never seen this, so I'll be interested to give it a watch. Got Bugs Life, which I really loved growing up. I actually had loads of like plushies and figures of the characters. Like, I was a huge Bugs Life girly. So for the VHS, I also got Tarzan, another one that I loved growing up, and I have not watched this in years, so I'm really, really excited. I love the soundtrack in this film, so I'm very excited to jump back in and watch it again. I got a couple of books. I've really got back into reading recently. Honestly, like, I used to be such a bookworm as a kid, and since just social media, honestly, I sound really old-fashioned and like blame everything on the phone. It has really cooked my attention span, and even the thought of reading a year ago, I just would have laughed. There was just no way. Every time I picked up a book, I just could not do it. This year, I made a promise to myself that I really wanted to get back into reading, and oh my gosh, I have. I've read so many books already this year alone. I'm proud of myself, and I know this is a really popular book series. I actually just bought the first one in the series the other day. I'm on holiday soon, and I wanted a new series to start, and I'm sure you guys know if you're into reading, but this series is everywhere, especially on TikTok. I'm really excited to dive in. Usually I will just buy a book as I go. I don't usually commit to buying loads in a season straight away. These being a boot sale and being in such good condition, I think I honestly paid like £3 for both of these, which they're usually like, what, £10 each? So yeah, I've saved myself a lot of money in the long run. And I got this, which I am so excited about. This was £2. I was like, there's no way. I've got a mini Kirby heart shelf. The lady was telling me that she actually hand painted it this like grey colour. She said it was to display her crystals in, but she actually hated the colour that it ended up being. I'm going to do another layer of paint on it. I'm also going to paint it pink to match my other heart shelf, and I am going to put more Kirby figures on display in this one. I did actually recently buy a Kirby specific Trinket shelf, which I also painted pink and put loads of figures in. I didn't quite anticipate how small the little sections were. I really wanted to display some of my Kirby remnants in them, but they didn't fit. Now I have this, which is way bigger, and they would definitely fit in here. So I think I'm going to display some of my Kirby remnants in here, which I think will look so cool in a pink heart on the wall. Lastly, I got a few crafty bits. So there was a store selling loads of ribbons. Hopefully you can see it. This pink one with the black polka dots is my absolute fave. Pink and black is my favorite color combo, and I absolutely love polka dots, so I'm so excited to use this. Also got a couple of like gingham style ribbons. One's blue and white and one's lilac and white as well. From the same store, I actually got some zips. As you can tell, these are very Kirby color coded, and there's a reason for that. Talking, I don't know whether this will end up in the same video or separate. I don't know. I just honestly film each day as I go, and whether it's going to be in one video or separate vlogs, I don't know. So hopefully this flows and makes sense. And that I watched a YouTube video of a girl who was making these really, really cute pouches. I was so inspired by them that I really wanted to do my own. After looking at it, I actually do really like the design that is on the pouch. So I've decided to leave that one alone, and I'm going to attempt to make my own. I have a sewing machine, but I can hand sew. I mean, I say I can, it'll be rough. But again, this is only for me, so I'm not too bothered as long as it just functions okay. Spent all morning watching YouTube videos and tutorials on how to do it. So fingers crossed. There were a lot of people in the comments saying that theirs did not turn out how the video went, and I have a feeling that mine might be the same. Plenty of the fabric and plenty of zips, so hopefully I can give it a few attempts and get a functioning pouch going. And once that's done, I'm going to decorate it all Kirby and cute, and I'm really excited to show you and bring you along with the process.